I've always been a big sports fan. Even when I was in elementary school and I was getting to be a part of these arts enriching programs, I was also playing sports. And I was always obsessed with the team aspect, taking a group of individuals and making them a whole. So if you ask me what is VTC, I would say that we are a group of artists, professional artists living in West Virginia, who are teachers and who are performers, professional artists that work together to try to enrich and improve and expand the cultural fabric of our state. We tell most every student that comes through the doors of VTC, and whether that be in our Shakespeare Apprentice Troupe or our MCAP musical theater stuff or our voice lessons, or even the students that are down at our conservatory training program at Notre Dame, we tell every one of them that you will get out of this what you put into it.
When you sign on to be a voice teacher, you sign on to be more than a voice teacher. Yeah. You end up, for a lot of kids that come into the arts, and it's not just, I guess, voice teaching, but the arts in general, but it's a safe atmosphere that they maybe can express themselves in a way they can't do in their own homes.
Being a part of my students' growth is obviously, it's very important to me, and I don't want to cry about it, but because watching them grow through the responsibility of learning something and like having people be able to rely on them and knowing that you can send them out and they will always do what they're supposed to do and get the job done, it's very enriching to me.
I can definitely attest to the safe place and having somebody that I always say I text her for new perspectives. I ask her a question to get a new perspective on something. And every thank you card that I write to them, every thank you message, it always says you go above your call of duty.
When I was a child, I stayed wide awake, climbed to the highest place on every fire escape, restless to climb. I got every scholarship, saved every dollar, the first to go to college. How do I tell them why I'm coming back home with my eyes on the horizon?
It's a wonderful organization to have in the community, and I'm not certain that her development would have gone as well had it not been for the VTC and people like Sarah and Josh.
Watching a young artist who has a lot of passion and dedication and drive grow over several years is incredibly emotional.
Why, there's for thee, boom, and there, oh, there, oh. Okay, we need to time it though.
Before we were married, my wife and I went to Pittsburgh. This was one of our sort of first out-of-town dates. And we were still learning about each other, and we went to see a ballet in Pittsburgh. And I remember sitting with her right as intermission was ending, and we were getting ready to watch the second act. And I said, "Don't you ever sit out here and watch these incredible professional performers and go, man, I wish I was on stage with them?" And she said, "No, I sit out here and I watch these incredible professional performers, and I think, I can't wait to see my students do that."
If you hold your life at any line,
that might have been the moment I knew I was going to marry her.
but take thee to thy God.
Oh, Jason is funny and intelligent and has this way of making anyone feel at ease. The beauty of live theater is it's a once in a lifetime experience. Even if I go see the same group of actors do the same show, it's still going to be a new experience because it's never the same. And so just knowing that you are sharing this one specific moment in time with someone else that you will never share anywhere else and that they will never share anyone else just makes it rare and precious and valuable.
VTC, because of the way we are structured and the work that we do, very much focused on small communities, on rural communities, on, I hate this word, but on underserved communities. For the fools, from a very, very logistical standpoint, we'll roll in together and spend just a minute walking through the community that's gathering and try and get that vibe, and then we'll find the opportunity to be alone.
Valley girl excited that her parents got her a car for her 16th birthday. Oh my God! I got a Pinto! Oh my God!
A lot of improv is about trying to get what's called groupthink. We're trying to get on the same wavelength as everybody else.
At the time, I was 35 years old, and I'd never acted before, and Jason gave me the opportunity to act.
Where are your papers?
In a hallway.
Where are your papers?
In hell.
Excellent. Matt, you're first up. You get that stage right there facing
And
us.
to be an improviser, which I do now on a regular basis for over 8 years in West Virginia doing improv. On a personal level, it's given me the opportunity to do things I never dreamed I would have been able to do. So VTC is really important to me. It's been a big part of my life, and Jason's been a big part of my life, and Sarah.
What's up, Weston? How we doing? Oh, come on, man. Let's shake the walls of this old place, huh? What's up, Weston? How we doing? My name is Jason, and I am here tonight with a group of homegrown comedians, the Fearless Fools.
I recently heard someone tell me that all we have in this world is story. The human existence in the world is really made up of story. It's a bit of a out there thought that you have to wrap your brain around, but it's pretty spot on. And there is nothing more West Virginian. We are storytellers. And I promise you, if someone comes to West Virginia for the purpose of visiting West Virginia, it will not be their only trip. I think the best thing that anybody could ever say about VTC or this work that we've dedicated ourselves to in this state is that I wouldn't be who I am today without VTC. That experience changed my life.